What your main brawler says about you. If you main Shelly, you either just started the game or you've been loyal since day one. Nita. If you main Nita, you like simple brawlers and letting your bear do the work. Colt. If you main Colt, you believe aim equals skill even when you miss. If you main Bull, you rush everything and hope it works. Brock. If you main Brock, you like keeping your distance and playing safe. El Primo. If you main El Primo, you live for jumps and big moments. If you main Barley, you enjoy controlling areas and annoying people. Poco. If you main Poco, you're actually a good teammate. Rosa. If you main Rosa, you walk straight at enemies. Zero fear. If you main Jesse, you love turrets more than teammates. Dynamite. If you main Dynamite, you think you're cracked, and sometimes you are. Tick. If you main Tick, people probably hate playing against you. 8-bit. If you main 8-bit, you're slow but dangerous. Rico. If you main Rico, you love bounce shots and showing off. Daryl. If you main Daryl, you wait patiently, then roll in. If you main Penny, you like splash damage and pressure. Carl. If you main Carl, you're consistent and reliable. Jackie. If you main Jackie, you don't aim, you just walk. Gus. If you main Gus, you're calm but supportive. Bo. If you main Bo, you think you're smart with your minds. Ems. If you main Ems, you love controlling space. If you main Stu, movement is your personality. Piper. If you main Piper, you love long range damage. Pam. If you main Pam, you never die. If you main Frank, your fear stuns more than damage. If you main BB, you like speed and knockbacks. B. If you main B, one shot is all you need. Nani. If you main Nani, your aim is either insane or non-existent. Edgar. If you main Edgar, then you're a bitch. If you main Griff, you love non-stop pressure and probably love watching Brawl Reflex. Grom. If you main Grom, you like predicting movement. Bonnie. If you main Bonnie, you enjoy switching playstyles. Gale. If you main Gale, then you love making it snow. Colette. If you main Colette, then you probably goon to all the brawlers in the game. Belle. If you main Belle, then you probably just love hitting trick shots with your gadget. If you main Ash, then you probably like cleaning. If you main Lola, then you probably want to find a way to clone yourself. If you main Sam, then go main someone else, bro. Sam is so cheeks. Mandy. If you main Mandy, then you're probably the GOAT at aiming, and you probably ship Chester and Mandy. Maisie. If you main Maisie, then you're a Sigma. Hank. If you main Hank, then you probably just love his thing. Pearl. If you main Pearl, then you love baking cookies for other people. Larry and Laurie. If you main Larry and Laurie, then you probably watch a lot of Bro Code and you have a twin. Angelo. If you main Angelo, then you're zesty and you love mosquitoes. Barry. If you main Barry, then you probably just keep on healing your teammates. He's pretty good. Shade. If you main Shade, then I don't know what to say. You just float over water against melee enemies. Meeple. If you main Meeple, then you probably like playing board games and stuff. Chunk. If you main Chunk, then you probably love trees and ants. Mortis. If you main Mortis, then you're probably trying to be the creature of the night and you miss all your shots in Brawl Ball. Tara. If you main Tara, then you probably like playing card games. Jean. If you main Jean, then you believe that genies are real. Max. If you main Max, then you probably just spam your main attack and just speed yourself up. Mr. P. If you main Mr. P, then you probably just run around and just hit enemies with your suitcase. Sprout. If you main Sprout, then you probably use your hypercharge and super against the heist. And you probably play a lot of heist. Byron. If you main Byron, then you're a super W teammate that always heals people. Squeak. If you main Squeak, then you're annoying as hell. Lou. If you main Lou, then you probably love ice cream. Ruffs. If you main Ruffs, then you probably love dogs. Buzz. If you main Buzz, then you're sometimes either bad or good in games. Fang. If you main Fang, then your top priority is getting close to enemies. Eve. If you main Eve, then you probably just float over water to dodge melee brawlers. Janet. If you main Janet, then you probably love her and stuff. Otis. If you main Otis, then you're pretty annoying. Buster. If you main Buster, then you probably love watching movies. Gray. If you main Gray, then you're mute and yeah. RT. If you main RT, then pretty much you just love robots. Willow. If you main Willow, then you're probably a psychopath that wants to control people. Doug. If you main Doug, then you probably love eating wieners with your friends. Chuck. If you main Chuck, then your legs are probably disabled and you're in a wheelchair. Charlie. If you main Charlie, then you love spiders. Miko. If you main Miko, then you're probably a monkey and you're annoying. Melody. If you main Melody, then I don't know what to say about you. You just... If you main Lily, then you probably have a garden in your backyard. Go take care of your plants. If you main Clancy, then you probably like watching SpongeBob. And your favorite character is probably Mr. Krabs. Mo. If you main Mo, then I don't know what to say. You just play Brawl Ball most of the time and you're pretty Sigma. Juju. If you main Juju, then you probably try to stab people with needles. Ollie. If you main Ollie, then probably you just love riding hoverboards. Lumi. If you main Lumi, then you probably love music and you have main character syndrome. Finks. If you main Finks, then you're probably trying to find a way on how to make time stop and you probably love cats. Jaeyoung. If you main Jaeyoung, then you probably are actually a good teammate and you're probably trying to sing when in reality you just suck at singing. Allie the alligator. If you main her, then probably, I don't know, you just love alligators. Mina. If you main Mina, then you probably love exercising and showing off your tricks. Ziggy. If you main Ziggy, then you probably love wizards. Gigi. If you main Gigi, then probably you just like voodoo dolls. Glober. If you main Glober, I don't know how you could main Glober right now, but if you do, then I don't know, you're autistic. Spike. If you main Spike, then you probably act like the main character because Spike really is the main character. And probably you're really annoying. Crow. If you main Crow, then you probably don't do any damage. Leon. If you main Leon, then you probably like sneaking up to your enemies with your super. Sandy. If you main Sandy, then you probably just make your teammates invisible and like to help them. Amber. If you main Amber, then you probably always burn yourself. Meg. If you main Meg, then you're probably like really crafty. Surge. If you main Surge, it's the same as RT, you just love robots and energy drinks. Chester. If you main Chester, then you're probably like a Joker. Cordelius. If you main Cordelius, it's the same as Lily. You love plants and you have a garden. If you main Kit, then you're annoying as hell. Get off of the game and go touch some grass for once in your life. No skill, noob. Draco. If you main Draco, then you're nonchalant and Sigma. Kenji. If you main Kenji, then you're probably really annoying and you love sushi. Pierce. If you main Pierce, then you make yourself look good around other people, and when you get home, then you're probably just don't look good. Kaze. If you main Kaze, she's not that good. I don't know, you just love her and stuff. I don't know. Wait, who's this? Wait, what? Wait, no! Subscriber, this thing will appear in your bed tonight.